In our last video we looked at the M1 Abrams and its AGT 1500 gas turbine. An engine that sounds more like a fighter jet than a tank. Smooth power. Rapid acceleration. 1,500 horsepower from something that could almost fly. But if the gas turbine is so impressive, why did Germany build one of the world's most successful tanks around a traditional diesel engine? Was Germany right? Let's find out. The M1 Abrams and the Leopard 2. Both entered service in the early 1980s. Both produce exactly 1,500 horsepower. Both are considered among the finest main battle tanks ever built. But underneath the armor they are completely different machines. One chose aerospace technology. The other chose engineering fundamentals. And the choice each nation made tells you a lot about how they think about war. At the heart of every Leopard 2 sits the MTU MB 873K501, a 47.6-liter liquid-cooled, twin-turbocharged V12 diesel engine. To put that displacement into perspective, a modern Lamborghini V12, a hypercar engine, has around 6.5 liters. The Leopard's engine has nearly 8 times as much. Despite being designed more than 4 decades ago, the MB 873 produces 1,500 horsepower, identical to the AGT 1500 in the Abrams. But horsepower alone doesn't move a 60-ton tank. Torque does. And this is where the diesel begins to prove itself. The MTU produces around 3,465 lb-ft of torque, and it delivers it low in the rev range. That means the Leopard can pull itself out of deep mud, climb steep slopes, and push through almost any terrain you put in front of it. This engine wasn't designed to be exotic. It was designed to be unstoppable. Of course, performance like this comes with size and weight. Together with its Renk HSWL 354 transmission, the complete Leopard 2 power pack weighs nearly 13,500 pounds. That's heavier than 3 average family cars, combined. But here's what makes the German engineering remarkable. That 13,500-pound assembly is designed as a single, fully modular unit. If the engine is damaged in combat, a trained crew can remove the entire power pack and replace it with a fresh one in approximately 30 minutes. And here is something worth noting. The Abrams can do the same. With a trained crew, the AGT 1500 power pack can also be swapped in roughly 30 minutes. This is not a coincidence. Both nations made the same fundamental decision. A tank that can be repaired in the field is worth more than one that cannot. That shared philosophy is one of the reasons both vehicles have remained in service for over 4 decades. Now let's talk about fuel. Because this is where the diesel has its single biggest advantage over the gas turbine. When I served as an armored infantryman, I learned very quickly that fuel is never just a number on a spec sheet. Every tank needs fuel. Every fuel truck needs a driver. Every driver needs protection. And every mile your tanks advance, your supply chain has to follow. In combat, a supply convoy that can't reach you doesn't just slow you down. It takes your entire unit out of the fight, without a single shot being fired. On a full tank, the Leopard 2 can travel around 280 miles on roads. Off-road, through mud, snow, or broken terrain, that range drops significantly. But compared to the AGT 1500, which is notorious for its fuel consumption, especially at idle, the Leopard can travel significantly farther on the same amount of fuel. Fewer fuel stops. Fewer supply trucks. Greater freedom of movement. The American turbine is brilliant engineering. But every mile the Abrams travels, it drags a larger logistical burden behind it. And that has real consequences I've seen firsthand. So let's be honest about both. The AGT 1500 is a masterpiece of aerospace engineering. Smooth, immediate power across the entire rev range. Compact for its output. Capable of running on almost any combustible liquid. And by all accounts, driving an Abrams is unusually smooth for a vehicle of its size. But the turbine has real weaknesses. Its fuel consumption is substantially higher. Its thermal and acoustic signature is massive. It's one of the loudest and hottest tank engines ever fielded. And it demands highly specialized maintenance. The MTU diesel is the opposite in almost every way. It's heavier. It takes up more space in the hull. It doesn't have the turbine's fuel flexibility, but it produces enormous torque from low revs. It is significantly more fuel efficient. And like the Abrams, it can be fully swapped out in the field in around 30 minutes. It has proven itself across dozens of countries for over 4 decades. And yet, there is one area where the diesel has a serious disadvantage that most people never talk about. Cold weather. I remember waiting with the Marder infantry fighting vehicle and the Eagle 4 in winter conditions, sometimes over half an hour before the engine was even warm enough to move. A large diesel in freezing temperatures is not a quick start, and the MTU MB 873, with nearly 48 liters of displacement, is about as large as it gets. The preheating time in extreme cold is a real operational problem. The AGT 1500 turbine has a genuine advantage here. It starts reliably even at extreme temperatures. No long wait, no preheating cycle. In a winter offensive, that is not a minor detail. That is the difference between being ready and being stuck. Two completely different answers to the same question. The Abrams? Performance first. The Leopard? Endurance first. On a modern battlefield, endurance might matter more. The Abrams chose jet technology. The Leopard chose diesel. One is more exotic. One is more practical. But after 4 decades and deployments across multiple continents and conflicts, both have earned their reputation. That's what makes this comparison so fascinating. There is no single right answer. Just 2 different engineering philosophies, both proven in combat. If you haven't seen the deep dive into the AGT 1500 gas turbine yet, it's linked right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.